All right, Hoss, listen up. The liberal media, they tried to take my foreskins, but they ain't gonna get me. If you don't like this video, you are gay. Now, I'm gonna try and do this kind of from cheapest and kind of like, frankly, probably the shittiest to the most expensive, highest quality. And before one of you is like, Austin, I'm not paying $5,000 for a reproduction of a BAR or an STG-44 or whatever. Look, I've met some of you in person. I know some of you now. And some of you will 100% spend over $10,000 on a stamped sheet metal tube that was hastily spot welded together by one of these puppets, one of those people. It don't front. I know what people will spend money on. So we're gonna start with kind of the cheap. We're gonna start with the 22s. People know about these guns. So there's ones like the MP40 GSG. They've actually sent me their STG-44, which it feels like the real thing in terms of weight, but obviously it's a 22. Same with the MP40. They have that mock suppressor on it. I mean, these guns are around $400, less than $400. If you're just looking for something to LARP with, take pictures, plink at, around the campfire, well, then this is probably one of the things that you should consider if you want some of that German LARP. In fact, GSG, and this is one that I've owned, well, still own, and shot a lot. I actually keep upgrading it with MFI parts, even though it's really not the best gun in the world. But the 9mm ATI MP40, it's a closed bolt MP40 out of the box. It doesn't exactly have how we say clone correct parts, but MFI does sell like a real cocking piece. The muzzle or muzzle thread thing. Muzzle cap, whatever, I don't care. Reddit GunTuber doesn't know the term for a piece of a gun. The front sight hood comes with this like neon, I don't know what they were thinking with that part. Point is, you can get all those parts from MFI and you can make it look more like a real MP40. There's other ones like Pioneer Arms. Now Pioneer Arms, they have a PPS 43, like a Polish PPS 43 closed bolt gun. They don't run that well, but if you're just looking for something that looks like there is a PPS 43 closed bolt in 7.62 by 25, those things are like worth less than $600. So I mean, there are some options on the cheap end, but most of the stuff that you're gonna want is gonna be $1,000 plus. So we're gonna get into that part.
Leave me alone! You're broke! Ah! You're fucking poor!
Now, some of these I'm going to put it, they're going to be between $1,000 and $3,000. It is what it is. Auto Ordinance, they do M1 carbine reproductions, but the weird part is at that point, they're $1,500. You might as well just get an original in good condition because those go for about $1,500 to $2,000 and it would have history behind it. But they do exist. If you just want a new gun in the M1 carbine variety, they do exist. They also make Thompsons. If you want a larger, clumsier version of what the Thompson already was, and that's very large and very clumsy. Now, we're going to get into kind of more of the elephant in the room stuff. Oh yeah, there's also a Mosin Nagant in 22. Just get a Mosin Nagant. Another one that we are going to talk about, the elephant in the room, PSA's HMG, picking up the pieces of where HMG failed their STG-44. The last thing that I've heard on that, hopefully not vaporware, is that it is in some kind of testing phases. I'm just going to go out on a limb and be like, they'll get to it, hopefully. But I have a feeling that that gun's probably going to be in the $2,000 to $2,500 range. When it does come out, really the cool part is you're going to be able to shoot it in multiple calibers when and if it comes out. Now we're going to talk about one company that has really impressed me. We're going to get into the expensive stuff now. And probably the best quality stuff. If you want an MP40 that is really well made, SSD, or I believe it's Sports Systems Dietrich, they are I've been really impressed. I actually sent them an email and asked a couple questions about the products that they will be doing. Right now you could get a BD38, which is a clone of an MP38 for around $3,800. They're doing STG-44s, high quality ones. Again, I know some of you will buy that, because if Ohio Ordinance Works can sell out on BARs that are like 6,000 or something a pop, an MP40 will go too. They're doing an STG-44 that's recently made an appearance on YouTube. I believe Military Arms Channel had it on. But they're going to be really high quality STG-44 reproductions. And they're going as far as doing things like the Mark 42, the STG or the MP43. They're doing all the different variations of it. In fact, SSD is going to do something similar to what Ohio Ordnance Works did with the BAR into the H-car, kind of like that modern BAR, so to speak. And they're doing it with the FG42. I think it's the FG13 or something like that. It's going to be chambered at 7.62 by 54R, I think. But it looks kind of cool. Or maybe it's the SG. Yeah, it's the SG. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this company for a while now, because
we will watch your career with great interest.
Kind of the issues with reproductions. They will increasingly in the future, if machine guns for whatever reason aren't made legal, which there is maybe a precedent to that right now. The problem is reproductions are very expensive to make, and it's kind of a risk for any big manufacturer to, do something new like that, because they don't know actually how those guns are going to sell. And it's also very hard to make certain things. People just think that you can just make an FG42, from scratch. It's not really that simple. So that's the reason a lot of the good ones are really expensive. But that's going to do it for me today, YouTube. It's Austin of the Vintage Yoki channel. Just giving you guys a list of stuff that's out there. Again, hopefully reproductions become more mainstream on the market. I mean, I see what's going on with retro ARs and stuff like that. It's a little bit easier to pull off, but companies like SSD and Ohio Ordnance Works, and even like the Pioneer Arms, even though their stuff's not the greatest quality, they're at least giving you something, right? So hopefully that goes in the right direction, but that's going to do it for me. I'll see you later! And I'm not going to be uploading next week. I'm going to actually be in Rhode Island, so operational security. The liberal media will not shoot down my plane!